these things on this floor, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us, man, there is nothing, we are starving. We should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join Opeyemi Akinyode as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership. Every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial, Mainland 98.3 FM. We welcome you next as we discuss the situations.
It's a beautiful Friday evening, and I want to specially welcome you into the Situation Room live on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. It's been a very cold day in the city of Lagos. Excuse me. We've experienced some rain, left and right, and you have a feeling that probably it's going to be a very rain-soaked weekend. So for everyone having plans for events this weekend, you have to make provision for that. Well, for those of us that will be here, the European Championship, Europe's biggest competition, apart from the FA Champions League, begins today, and we're going to have more specials on that by 6 o'clock when we converge in the sport cruise on Mainland FM. But hey, this is the Situation Room, and there's so much to talk about on the show today. Yesterday, we had a very strong conversation with Mr. Adeyemi. He's the chief political editor of Guardian newspaper, and he joined me yesterday, and we had a two-fold conversation. And the first is that the 25 years of the Fourth Republic, transitioning from one political party to the other, from one president to the other, but we're still trying to nurture our democracy 25 years down the line. Day before yesterday was the celebration of Democracy Day, and one of the things that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was celebrating in his speech is 25 years of unbroken democracy. We've had the longest stretch of democracy since we had independence in 1960. And the question I asked Mr. Adeyemi yesterday was that, have we made much progress? Have we, or should we have moved away from the teething stage that we have? Baby steps, you want to say. But hey, as a child I was born 25 years ago, by now your parents should be looking up to you and expecting certain things from you. Perhaps you should be out of your parents' space and have your own house, working in an ideal society now. Of course, the reality may be different, but those are the things we talked about yesterday. And when the calls started coming in and people were calling for, the democracy we have is not the thing we want, or we're just being the largest democracy on the continent for just the numbers, and then the military conversation started coming in. And one of the things that I've enjoyed for a very long time is the fact that I grew up in a space where I had a lot of elderly people taking me through the business of journalism, the risk involved. I remember my dad used to tell me when I was way much younger that, if I'm going to ever join protests, that I should make sure I don't stay in front or stay at the back. Make sure you stay at the middle. For obvious reasons, you have to stay alive to enjoy whatever it is that you're protesting for. That's logic. That's common sense. But if you understand, even the president acknowledged the role that certain media houses played in the democracy that we're enjoying today. He made mention of Punch, Times, Tell. He made mention of Guardian newspaper, and I have the chief political editor of that newspaper, someone that I've been with Guardian for over 30 years, in the studio. So I guess he felt touched. And he went really hard on the people calling for the military. He talked about the fact that we cannot afford to be slaves in our own country. He talked about the things that happen even on this Ikorodu road. Even when we finished the show, we had a conversation for almost 1 hour yesterday. And I guess even after the show, I got a few messages, on the station's phone, and people were like, oh, we should stop saying the worst form of democracy is better than the best military. And I said, well, maybe we don't understand what the value of press freedom is. The fact that we could pick our phones and dial numbers and then, critique the government, go on our social media spaces, post videos, post memes, and make mess of situations. The president slept at the guard inspection on Wednesday, and then it was everywhere, the talk of the town. Even Atiku Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate, tweeted about it. Mr. Gregory Peter Obi of the Labour Party also tweeted about it, and it became, whatever I was talking about, nobody was even making reference to some of the things that the president said in his speech. I mean, that's how, somehow, or sometimes, we tend to trivialize issues. We tend to make a mess of, certain situations. But the fact that you could wake up one day and expect that by 4 o'clock, Opeyemi Akinyode is going to be in the Situation Room on Mainland FM means that we're still enjoying some little level of freedom along the press. Media houses were shut down, journalists were killed, journalists were maimed, journalists were kidnapped, thrown into jail, into cells, and their families never saw them. Our businesses were shut down. Well, I'm not sure it's something we really want to go back into. And there were a lot of messages that came in yesterday, but because I had to allow Mr. Miwa to go through that space, I couldn't read those messages. So I promised yesterday that I'm going to read those messages today, and I'm going to keep to that promise. Well, Prince Valentine was supposed to join me on the show today. Prince Valentine is a media proprietor as well. He owns Val Reality Radio. It's an online radio platform in Abuja, and he's also been covering the judiciary for over 30 years. So I wanted us to have a conversation around conflicting court judgments from Rivers State issue. Look at the one that was delivered again this afternoon. Federal High Court in Kano, have awarded fine against the people that petitioned I don't know. You don't even know what's going on with the Game of Thrones in Kano. There's 𝙜𝙜 somewhere. There's, of course, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi somewhere as well. And it's just, you have to start asking yourself, how come there are so many conflicting judgments? How much more do we need the judiciary to salvage this democracy? But he just texted me that he had a video, a studio session to record, so he won't be joining us on the show today. What does that do to us? It gives us the chance to have a conversation. And if you're following us on our social media platforms, I will be going back to the conversation we had yesterday, just to keep to my promise of reading some of your messages. Like I said, some of your messages. So I'm going to start from Tᴏɪᴜᴜ, and he said the president decided to steal in his pancake on inauguration with the subsidy removal declaration, and his use of right to constitute his cabinet to settle his huge political and electoral loans is a joke to talk as if this inadequacy of a Nigerian were not political capital of this crop of leaders. They have long since declared political and socio-economic war on the people. This is why the president spoke a forlorn hope to the people again yesterday without announcing new minimum wage. Okay, long one there. Chijoke Azu on Facebook says, like Buhari, Tinubu named his democracy hero without mentioning Professor Sɪᴛᴜᴜ. Was it a mistake or was it deliberate to have? Okay, there's the hate conversation there, but I won't take that. Thank you very much. Again, 𝐴ᴏᴜ was also talking to us yesterday, and he says, hey, it's good that we're celebrating 25 years of uninterrupted democracy. It is also important that we express our feelings when the president is going wrong. The direction which we concern Nigerians pointing out these mistakes should not be seen as a wailer or being anti-government. Let's take, for instance, our multinational companies that are leaving the country as a period where we need more investors. Farmers cannot go to the farm due to insecurity, which is one of the reasons for food inflation and making life really difficult for the citizens. Do gullible supporters of the president expect us to be quiet? Now, wow, God bless Nigeria. Tᴏɪᴜᴜ from Ijagemo community. Benjamin is still talking on Facebook, and he says, to me, what we're operating is not real democracy, but just mere civilian rule. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And I ask, is this our democracy? Can you imagine a democracy that doesn't respect the rule of law? Do you call that democracy? The people are in custody of DSS without trial till date because they spoke the truth to power, and you're saying we're in democracy? Not at all. Democracy that brings out people. Okay. I think you mean anti-people policy, and the people object to it, and the government under democracy is saying no going back. Is that democracy? The president's speech yesterday is as a speech of telling Nigerians what they knew already. That's Benjamin from Shogole. Akimbo-Sunday also texted yesterday, and he says, just to buttress your point on the military rule in Nigeria, military is an aberration. The military, by training and profession, they are meant to defend the territorial integrity of the state against external aggressors. The military rule contradicts Plato's submission on who is to rule, and that is the philosopher king. Okay, and that's from Akimbo-Sunday on Facebook. John Bernardo, he is also talking to us on Facebook, and he says, with what I've been seeing in Burkina Faso, I don't call for military government, but our politicians need to change their ways of governance. Yes. Patrick Obiazo was also texting, and he says, comparatively today in Nigeria, the military have done better than our politicians. If you're benchmarking democracy on the freedom of speech on your radio station, and why are the press always gagged and the media still censored by the government with discriminate arrest of journalists? Nigeria wants good life and not freedom of speech. Libya was under a military dictator, but the citizens enjoyed a good life. In any case, are the impunity displayed by the Nigerian politicians today different from those being displayed by the military? You ended that with a question mark. That's Patrick Obiazo on Facebook. Chooks Moore, thank you very much for your kind words. That's a personal message for me. Here in Chibundu Obata is saying the military handled Nigeria better in the economy, and what has happened under this civilian, because we do, but when we have democracy, the corruption is now over amplified. It is better than eat and not talk. It's better to eat and not talk than to eat in hunger. Okay, I don't know what that means, but thank you very much. The other part of the message says that the labor leaders was beaten up in the civil war in Imo State, yet Franco Korea and Asisi Asobie dared the military under Abacha. The military used their service cars, 504 as official cars, when made governors. What do civilians drive now? Bulletproof SUVs worth millions of taxpayers' monies. Thank you. Michael Loria, still on Facebook, says there's not much difference between the military and the civil dictatorship. There's no system of government that is the best, but depends on the mindset of the leaders. Compare and contrast the standard of living, infrastructural development, human rights activism, security of lives and properties, corruption, education, and health under the military and 25 years of Nigerian civilian regime. That's Professor Mike, all the way from Chicago in the United States. Kendi Okpa was also speaking to us on Facebook, and he says, I don't think we have thinking leaders on the food crisis. The Southwest commissioners for Agric are not qualified. These commissioners should have started encouraging farmers within the Southwest for a year. I don't know, in this country, when the North gave a threat and diversion of foodstuff back to the North, while the Southern region never learned, the North purposely would reject the ranching bill so that cows can destroy our farms in the West and we can always depend on them for foodstuff. Those were the messages I got yesterday on Facebook. I couldn't read them, and I promised I was going to do the same today, and that was exactly what I just did. Today on the show, I'm going to be having a conversation with you, so I'm inviting you to call in 0913-600-0410. Like I said, Prince Valentine Adeso will not be joining me today. We'll have to reschedule for next week. And I want to be asking, by the way, you can go on our Facebook page. The topic for discourse today is there, and like I said, it is more of you today and less of me. It's a Friday edition of the program, so I will just do this till 5:30, and let me just have your say. What do you make of the kind of democracy we have in this country at the moment? When the president was speaking on Wednesday at the Eagle Square, he made mention of individuals, that fought for democracy, the ones that put their lives on the line, and the ones that had to go on exile for years. They couldn't see their families. He mentioned the likes of, the very respected Professor Wole Soyinka. He mentioned the current governor of Kaduna State, Uba Sani. He mentioned, of course, the former senator from Kaduna North, that Senator Sani as well. Sɪᴛᴜᴛ, yes, we mentioned those individuals that are still with us. He also paid a lot of respect to the ones that have died. He started his conversation with the late Chief Moshood Kasima Olawale Abiola, the then Arano Kakanfo of Yoruba land. He also made reference to his wife, that the family did a remembrance of 28 years of assassination just a few days ago. That's Alhaji Kudirat Abiola. He made mention of a lot of people. He also paid a lot of credit to the leadership of the 𝐹𝐴nifere, Nadeko, and all of those people. But those are individuals. So I'm going to be asking you today, are Nigerians suppressed, or we're just being lazy to challenge the policies of these governments? Is there conspiracy of silence in the land? You ask yourself, what helps democracy to grow? If these the voices of the opposition, and opposition does not come from just political parties, there are interest groups, there are pressure groups, there is the labor, there are institutions that are meant to challenge the excesses of the government, not just the legislative arm of the government alone. We're supposed to have people that can speak to the government. We're supposed to have student leaders with energy, student leaders with ambition, not the ones that would donate campaign balls to the campaign committee of a governor. Not student leaders that are hobnobbing and romancing with the president, every day snapping pictures and visiting the president at the presidential villa. What is the labor doing? What about the civil society organizations? What about the civil liberty organizations? What about religious organizations? What about religious leaders? Why are people not speaking truth to power? Are Nigerians tired? Or are we really just suppressed? Or is just a conspiracy of silence? Let everybody keep quiet. At least we didn't vote for the government, because if you look at the numbers at the last election, the president won the election with less than 9 million votes. And if you look at what the other opposition parties got, the PDP got about 6.9, the Labour Party got about 6.1, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso's NNPP got about 1.2 or thereabout, and the other political parties as well put out together. That means about 15 million people voted against the president. Where are those people? Where are the leaders of those 15 million people? Why are people not challenging the policies of the government that is not making life easy for the people? It's tough, it's difficult. We're facing food crisis, we're facing electricity crisis, we're facing security crisis, we're facing infrastructural crisis. About 28 million units of housing is needed for us to have a structured housing scheme in Nigeria. How many people can afford decent accommodation? Self-con, 900,000, 1 million for a single room. How many people can afford that? How many civil servants can actually go on, okay, I've worked all year, let me go on a little vacation to Obudukatu Ranch, to Ikogosi Warm Spring in Ekiti, or I want to go to the Olumo to spend a couple of days in Abeokuta. How many Nigerians can afford that? Those are not supposed to be luxury in a democracy that is over 25 years old. How many Nigerians can afford a decent health care package without going to the private hospitals? How many Nigerians can say, oh, my child is 16 and he's going to a public university and I want him to graduate by 20? How many Nigerians can have quality education without going to the private universities? These are the questions we are supposed to ask. And why is everyone quiet? Is there a conspiracy to stay quiet? What happened to our religious leaders? Why are they not speaking truth to power? What happened to the traditional rulers? Why are they not speaking truth to power? What happens to the leaders of the opposition party? What happened to the leadership of the PDP? What happens to the leadership of the Labour Party? What happens to the leadership of the African Democratic Congress? What happens to the leadership of African Action Congress? What happens to the leadership of the Accord Party, the SDP? These were political parties that fielded candidates in the last election. Why are we watching this democracy grow, if it is at all? And why are we not making our own input? Why are we not putting our political leaders under pressure? What question do you ask your legislators when you meet them? They're supposed to have oversight functions on the executive. Are they doing that? Or they're also lobbying with the executive? These are the questions I would be throwing up to you today, and I would invite you to have your contribution. Is there a conspiracy of silence in this country, or Nigerians are just tired and Nigerians are suppressed? I mean, Senator Shehu Sani, when he was addressing the dinner on Wednesday, he made mention of the fact that there are a few people still locked up since the EndSARS protest. They've not been charged, they've not been tried, they've not been sentenced, and they've not been released. So we ask ourselves, why are these structures that are supposed to uphold our democracy failing this democracy? Now it's your turn to join the conversation. 0913-600-0410. Talk to me, make it quick. I'll pick your calls and also read your messages. And you can go on our Facebook page, facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. You drop your comments and I'll take them. Let's get the conversation going. Hello, good evening, caller.
Hello,
You're welcome.
You have kind of that I can see that the feeling in your mind, your heart.
You didn't tell me your name or where you're calling from.
My name is Dixon. I'm calling from Ogun State.
Okay, Mr. Dixon, let's go.
Okay, you see, it's unfortunate that we are not practicing democracy. Is it like, let us presume, we are not practicing the democracy. A democracy is a government that will carry people along. Unfortunately, if you look at this government presently, name one thing this government has done. We cannot report anything. A government that came to power that saw everything, considering the government, cannot report one thing that will say this man has done this. We are just developing policy here, policy something. It's not fair. The people have been submerged, got over. Nobody is talking, everybody is tired. You just talk. We have sycophants that will tell the government don't mind them. After talking, they will keep quiet. That's where we are now. They just tell you, look at the Labour people. The Labour people were supposed to be the first front. We are not talking of minimum wage. Even if you pay a civil servant 1 million today, if you nothing. What I expect the Labour Party Labour men to fight for is good governance, provide light, give us light. Companies are closing. Why are they closing? Because they don't have light to work, no power. They cannot afford diesel, price of diesel, one generator from morning till night, to 4 hours, 7 days a week. How much are they earning? That's why they are closing that. Has Labour people talked on that? We now have a national assembly that are buying SUV.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Thank you.
I've been on that. So it's just like the country is unfortunate.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Please, I want us to be as quick as we can so that we can take as much calls as we can on the show today. I know a lot of people are calling. So let me talk to Mickey. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Tunde from Akinyode.
Oh, Mr. Tunde, you jumped Mickey on this one.
No, maybe sometimes when you call on the program, I think that maybe you are thinking somebody that you need.
No. I have an identifier on my phone. Go on.
I understand. Because of the time, a lot of people wanted to call in. That's the reality. I like the question you are bringing. That's what I've been expecting from all the daily program. It's not because we share this government. People have fun. Sometimes say the speech of Mr. President when he's talking say that he want to fight for you. And then the program you did yesterday or before yesterday when you carry somebody come yesterday when he's talking about the military data that I don't want to go back. But finally the question you are talking tonight, we are not yet this government. The reason is that people are not ready to come out and talk about Yoruba man. We let pass something. It's a Yoruba man. People need to talk to him and what he's doing is wrong. Say the thing yesterday, he's saying that he's calling me. Look at him, you are calling. I get into the money. They came one of my friend when I did Google. I work in Nigeria people. I know what is going on. We witness military, we witness this thing. This one don't have anything to finance the reality. And it's a pity that all the military partners are clean. That's why I'm waiting for them 2020 when they are coming to come and campaign.
Thank you.
What are you doing when this government is giving us back something?
Thank you.
You know the people cannot talk. The reason why people kept quiet is that this present government, they have power, they have bought all the judges, power ministry. That's what people are saying.
Thank you, Mr. Tunde.
I'm always saying this thing. You are waiting for 2027.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Tunde said he's tired. So, I guess he's standing from the school of thought of the people that said, hey, Nigerians are just tired. Nigerians want to eat. Nigerians want to have a decent sleep. Nigerians want to have electricity to manage their small business. So I'm asking you today, is there a conspiracy of silence that everyone just allow this government to continue to do what they want, what they're doing? Or Nigerians are just tired? Or maybe we're suppressed? Okay, let's do this. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Opeyemi, good evening.
You're welcome.
God bless you, because your name will be written in gold.
Thank you.
That you are one of those who stood for democracy too. Because your radio station, Sandra, all of you, you are, in fact, you are the modern human rights activists, you know, that have been shaping democracy in this country through your radio. You are not chastising people, but you have stood for good governance. God bless you. God bless Sandra. God bless all your crew. Okay, I am tired. I am in my middle 50s going to 60. I got married at 25 years. I have seen my grandchildren by the grace of God. If Nigeria was like this during the time I graduated and started working, maybe by now my first child would have been 10 years or 7 years. There is no future, there is no hope. Opeyemi, I am tired of talking. I've been calling. Even during June 12, 1993, I was one of those who were gas, who went and do all kinds of rally and campaign for Abiola to be released. We wanted democracy, but the democracy we wanted was democracy to give us, fresh air, to give us liberty, to give us everything that we are seeing abroad. So, Opeyemi, we are in hell. We are in hell today. Opeyemi, people cannot eat. People cannot sleep with their two eyes closed. People are losing their work every day. Companies are being shut down. Guinness is leaving Nigeria. Microsoft has left Nigeria. Opeyemi, the democracy we fought for and we cried for, we are not reaping the dividends of democracy. It is one man show. It is a capture state. The Nigerian people are just like we are nobody again, and let them do whatever they want to do.
Thank you.
The only hope we have is 2027. If they will not rig it, if there will be no glitch, we'll be able to express our opinion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. 0913-600-0410. I read your messages, and I also read your messages on Facebook. But let me pick more calls first. Let me talk to 𝐴kinweze. You've been calling.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well done, my brother.
Thank you.
I start answering your question by saying that conspiracy of silence, I think we should start from the media first. Because yes, especially most of the traditional media have media houses, apart from your station and one or two. I tell you, but this kind of things you are saying right now, you don't hear it anywhere again. It only happened immediately after the election. Now, some people, especially the supporters of the president, they say it's a matter transition. What does that tell you? So this man is a co-politician, we know. So some things that are happening, we are over 50, we understand certain things. Now, this president within 1 year has borrowed over 20 trillion naira. 20 trillion. Where did you see a reflection of 1 trillion in Nigeria? And as we speak, he's about to borrow another trillions of dollars. Now, where do you think the money is going? You see, the National Assembly they are enjoying, so they don't have reason to complain. The judiciary the same thing, the military the same thing. So we are no more kids. We know what is going on. We know why they're silent, but nonetheless, after people have rubbed their mouth with oil, later they will come back to see if their children have future in a situation like
this. Thank you.
25 years of 25 years of democracy. What is democracy? Fair, free, and credible elections. It was only during Abiola that we had that. Now, after that, you talk of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Are the people part of this government? People are crying. The government will only tell you, don't worry, I hear your cry, don't worry. They promised CSG buses after removal of subsidy. I've not seen one today, but they are talking of buying private jet for the president. But look, we'll continue talking.
Thank you.
Look at democracy. People are there to come to a court that is in session and arrest people. And we are telling us we are practicing democracy. No, we can't be fooled. We can't be fooled.
Thank you.
Tell us democracy is better than military. Yeah. But our better economy was far better than every other civilian government. Go and take it up.
Thank you.
Government.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 0913-600-0410. Your live on Mainland FM. We do this show every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5:30 p.m. It's called the Situation Room, and then we'll always bring in seasoned journalists, analysts, political leaders, opinion leaders, interest, members, policy makers, economists, everyone that has something to say about how this country can make progress, how we can move from our crawling stage and start working properly. We're not even talking of flying. Exactly. I was reading a piece a couple of weeks back, and somebody made a comment on that. I trust Nigerians on Open Spaces, and he said, these people are actually planning for problems that have not happened yet. So it was about, I think, some cell growth, inventions and all of that. And the person said, my country is still trying to look for solutions to problems that the world has forgotten, where some people are already looking for solutions to problems that are envisaging would happen in years to come. That's development. Let me have your thoughts. Hello, good evening.
Opeyemi.
You're welcome.
My name is Don Peters.
Don Peters, good to have you today.
You don't want to be picking my call again. What have I done to you?
Don Peters. You know, if I have the chance to allow you to talk for an hour, I will. I can't ignore calls. I pick them as they come in.
Why is it that whenever my call enter, you begin to narrate other things?
Don P, you're already here. Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk.
Make I teach you something. You see, it seems there is a conspiracy of silence, as you are saying. Make I tell you, you see, Nigerians, they are tired, they are confounded. The last regime, which is the Buhari regime, you see all the misgovernance. And whenever Nigerians speak up, they will throw in religion and tribalism. And people are falling for it. And people are crying that there is no road where we are going. This place we are going, we are not in a good heart. They will throw in tribalism immediately. So, and people are falling for it. Nigerians are falling for that tribalism. It's because of my tribal man. It is because of my religion. They will be going to attack. Before you know it, everywhere will be engulfed with a lot of arguments. So Nigerians say, okay, you know what? Since you are defending your tribe, since you are defending your religion, let's see if your tribe will give you food to eat. Let's see if your tribe will give you good governance. We are saying that we are not in a good place, and you are defending your tribe and religion. That is why everybody kept quiet. No matter what is going on right now, Nigerians will be quiet. So let's see how it goes.
Thank you.
And we are seeing how it's going. You see, somebody was in my office, and he told me for the past 4 months they have not made food in his house. And I said, okay, why? He said because making soup right now is a double expensive. He makes you budget money for soup, you budget money for garlic. So it's better than eat this. Let it work.
Thank you very much. And the funny
it's very funny. And all these things are happening.
Mr. Paul, thank you.
We are shouting and crying that is not the way to go. And we will keep no injury. Just what happens is the religious people and group will see enter now. Those the tribal people will see enter. And all of us
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've got loads of messages as well. I think I have to be picking them alongside the calls too. But let me talk to Mr. Ralph.
Mr. Opey, good evening, sir.
Good to have you today.
Honestly, we don't try to talk, but
we'll keep talking.
They are hearing us. Don't doubt it. If you doubt they're hearing us, they're not hearing us. Talk anything against them now. You action tomorrow. I know those things, I don't know. The problem with we Nigeria is that we know the truth, but tribalism is too much. Tribalism is too much. Everybody believes that when you as an opposition, when you talk. Okay, look at for instance now, someone like P2B. Whenever he talks anything, whether it's good or bad, you see a lot of people tackling him. Other people will they won't even attend to that one, but once he says something, they will come after him. Look at the way Nigeria is.
as it kind of things, somebody saying you're planning to buy aircraft for somebody, do a case act. Just, I was like, is it the... No, let me know the God bless her. Have something to think about.
Thank you very much. Let me read some messages, text messages now. I will come back on Facebook very soon. And okay, this one says Opeyemi is now asking the relevant questions and moderating with good understanding of the fact that Nigeria is built to fail. No, I would never align with your school of thought that this country is built to fail. No, I wouldn't. But I know he's an advocate of peaceful protest. Therefore, he may not have solutions. Gladly, he's asking us. If it is not built to fail, why would the governors go against local government autonomy? Or why did President Tinubu give forlorn hope to the people without announcing 100,000 minimum wage on his June 12 address? Instead, he irritated the people more by saying he understood their pains. President Tinubu decided to add steel to his pancake on inauguration day with his subsidy removal declaration. So you gave recommendations. There's no such things as peaceful protest. The media should help to change that narrative so as to possibly provoke the people to addressing the assaults at their sensibilities or continue to complain. That is Thompson from Obaniko. Thank you very much, Mr. Thompson. Kenneth from K2, thank you for the kind word. He said, talking about the question you raised, the truth of the matter is the Nigerian state has been captured by the APC and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Thank you. This is 𝐴𝐿 from Ikeja, and it says this present government has more life. They've made life so unbearable for the people. High cost of food items and living, highest in the history of this nation. A borrow and waste government. 90 billion for Hajj, 21 billion for VP's house renovation. New aircraft is being proposed for the president. They can't win 2027 no matter the manipulation. Everyone is waiting for them. Okay, that's 𝐴𝐿 from Ikeja. Okay, Dio is also texting and it says, I want to ask, are we in democracy or autocracy? We're in democracy, Mr. Dio. When you put water in a basket, what will be the result? The question is for this government. What have the people benefited from them? 1 year of nightmare, bad policies, taxes that created insecurity that has turned the country into Dio. It's always difficult trying to sift through a message, but thank you very much and I appreciate you for reaching out. Ralph from Satellite Times also texted and he says, well done, thank you. The government in power are using our law enforcement agencies to threaten individuals and groups that tries to play opposition. Imagine a country where the judiciary, police and some journalists and media houses are now controlled by the ruling party. It baffles me to see the kind of response I see each time someone like Peter Obi speaks out. That's Ralph from Satellite Town. Back to the phone lines. 0913-600-0410. Mr. Yusuf.
Hello?
You're welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good to have you join us today.
Yeah, Mr. Opeyemi, this Samuel calling from WGSOᴜ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember the person that called you the other day. You promised me and I was expecting the
Nasara request.
Yes,
now,
yes.
Let me tell you what happened. We're supposed to host him on Monday. Then I called him on Sunday evening and he said he's going to be on transit around that time. And since then, nothing yet. So let's work with what we have. Join the conversation today.
Okay, all right, sir. You are asking a question whether there is conspiracy of silence in the country. Opeyemi, there is. You know what is happening in this country is just a system of divide and rule that is happening in Nigeria. And there is something that is going on. You understand? We are just like people that have been programmed. The politicians have succeeded in programming the minds of the people. You understand? In Nigeria. So most of the people we don't think right. We always listen to them based on what they say, the chunk, anything they like, they chunk out, and we start debating. You understand? And they are there. So for this president, you know why I'm angry? You understand? On this particular president, because the accusation and different kind of accusation that people were, even the analysts, the economics, accused the former president that he was not an economist, that he doesn't know, he knows nothing on economics. You understand? that okay, this current president is an economist. So now you have the economic things. You brought up all your friends, your relatives. Check the whole revenue generating agency in Nigeria today are mounted by his friends and his people. You understand? And what are we seeing? Look at the way the country is today, and he's telling us that very day that he said you will sell a pill. You have not agreed with labor, and you are telling people that you will sell a pill. Which deal you send it? So that is just like somebody that is driving using the wrong Google map. We have no direction, no destination.
Thank you.
You understand? That is where we find ourselves today.
Thank you.
It's a pity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining the conversation. 0913-600-0410. Wow, there's a whole lot here that I need to attend to. More calls first. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Malam Bello Usman. I am coming from Idimo.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You see, if you remember in 2022 or early 2023, the private campaign, when the Mr. President said that 𝘰𴏜, he said that former President 𝘰ᴜᴜ, then at the end of the day he succeeded. At the end of the day, what happened? All of us, including me, I'm not exempted, including me, we join hands together to make sure that we have a better Nigeria to live for every one of us, including our children. But at the end of the day, the former president disappointed all of us. Nigeria became a binary, and all of us, I joined hands with those that voted for him. I voted for him too. But at the end of the day, what is happening? The vehicle that is driving now to drive the economy of this country has no brakes. And I am looking at that vehicle. It continues moving, and it will not stop until it becomes crash. The first democracy of this Mr. President that is not Lule before he became president, the first democracy day speech is Lule. Then it tells me that is this how our leaders are falling down. That is why the economic and every good aspect of everything that is meant that's supposed to be meant well for this country is falling.
Thank you.
The part I want to emphasize is that when is this man going to tell us the truth? Because every time he speaks, he says he's aware of our pain. But if the father is aware of his pain, of his children's pain, and he has nothing to do about it,
thank you.
Does that father want to call the father? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very vital question there asked. I mean, if you are a father and you can see the pain of your children, you're supposed to look for solution to at least suppress that pain and not make it more difficult. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Oh,
Good evening.
okay. Your name and where you calling from?
Are you hearing me?
I'm struggling to hear you. I would appreciate if you can call us back. 0913-600-0410 is the situation room. We're live on Mila 98.3 FM. Mr. Gaga Joshua, good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
I'm with you 100%.
Okay. I want everybody to do this particular assignment. Go to Google and type who is the owner of Nigeria. You understand me? You will see a particular person there. The particular name will pop up. Who is the owner of Nigeria? Just go to your Google and type who is the owner of it. This particular person keep on crying every day that some people are frustrating his business. You understand? The thing is, it is easy to criticize. You can just sit here and criticize. Just ask some people, what is the solution to this thing now? Former president, you're only blaming President Tinubu, of course. Yeah. So I am talking about them one by one. We got there to do this extensive. Farmers are not going to the farmers are unable to go to the farm. All these particular problems, they are from a particular problem. So not until we also resolve that, okay, let's solve it. See, this issue of, okay, we are all looking at federal government. This thing will not help us. Not until these clueless governors, not until they start thinking how to develop their state.
Thank you.
Majority of them are just looking forward to federal allocation every day. Federal allocation, and they are not doing anything again.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show. 0913-600-0410. We're just looking at how the country is, and Mr. President gave names, individuals, organizations that fought for this democracy. We know a lot of them. Some of them are still with us, witnessing what the democracy they fought for has turned into. And just like I asked Alhaji Abdulmumuni Abiola, that's the son of the late Alhaji Kudirat Abiola, and of course MKO, and he said, do you think your father or your parents will be proud of the kind of democracy we have now? Does it reflect what they fought for? And his opinion, obviously, I think it's not something that can actually really define boy. It's tough. 25 years, we've made wins, we've had huge success as well, and of course we've had major setbacks as a country. So I'm just asking, do you think there's a conspiracy of silence somewhere? How come every institution, individuals, interest groups that are supposed to speak to the government in terms of how things are tough, why is everyone quiet? Our religious leaders are always quick to endorse candidates, but when it comes to criticize those candidates, they won't speak. What happened to the traditional institutions? The Obas would gather and pray for a candidate, and when she gets into office, they don't criticize the candidate. How do you do that? What happens to the NLC? Is their only function just to agitate for minimum wage? What happens to the TUC? What happens to the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS? It's supposed to be a pressure group. Why is everybody quiet? That's the question I'm asking on the show today. Are we tired? Or we're just stressed out? Hello, good evening. Oh, ready to talk to us. Let me pick okay. The person needs to do me a favor and unmute that so that I can, pick other people. Well, let me read your messages on Facebook while we sort out the phone line. 𝘰𝐿 is saying, are we still in the mood of celebrating 25 years of uninterrupted democracy, which no doubt is good? It's only pertinent to express our feelings when the president is going the wrong direction, which we have been doing. Concerned Nigerians that are pointing out these mistakes should not be seen as wailers or anti-government. For instance, multinational companies are fleeing the country and nothing is being done about it. Kende from Ijegu is also on Facebook talking to us, and he says, I don't think we have thinking leaders on the food crisis. Okay, I took that one already. Let me go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening. Your name and where you calling from?
How are you? My name is Brother Suwai from Alimosho.
Brother
Suwai from Alimosho.
First off, let me thank the person that helped you to dial this number.
What is it?
I said, say thank you to the person that helped you to dial this number.
Yeah, I've been trying for some time now.
I know somebody handed you over the phone.
Yeah, I will divide the conspiracy, parents of conspiracy into two parts.
Please go on.
That's I will say the conspiracy of safe party to the party. On that groups you have the Wole to the Bakari. On that group, the party to the party to a Miloko. That is one. Then conspiracy of safe party of unknown. People are very afraid of unknown. Then let me go back to the NBA. Those days we have the NBA, we have the Camille Chubo, we have the 2G Bridge. But nowadays, I don't know what the NBA are doing. Apart from one day of value, before you could say that what's his name? This man is the Minister of Aviation. I joined them. Therefore, there's no more in the pressure group. Therefore, the FDA and the students, now the fellas, the best cause have died. The Gamify may have died. Where are the FBAs? We don't have the two, we don't have the Rotimi Williams again. Now, on the, are you with me?
I'm with you.
Now, on the issue of the religious leaders, we have none of them. All of them have failed us. Those days, you have the only blue Koji.
God. Olubibi will stand. That is what Matthew Kuka is doing now. But he's doing his best. Olubibi will stand. I am above. I am going towards 80 now. Are you with me, sir?
I'm with you.
I'm looking at 80 now. Just days, Olubibi will stand. I will follow him. The fellas, the cookies and cook, the Ghanifa means. But now, all these people have now state party. That is the concern for the middle court.
Thank you.
Have this problem.
Thank you very much.
Now back to Sɪᴛᴜᴛ. Sɪᴛᴜᴛ is the only man we have standing now.
Thank you.
If Sɪᴛᴜᴛ was in the Senate between last year of Buhari, we shall not have this lose.
Please let me wrap up your thoughts, Brother Siwa, so I can talk to other people as well. Please.
You know what Buhari did to 𝐴̀rufai? That's like the removed him. 𝐴̀rufai is the standing that we have now. We have to stand up to this
Thank
issue.
you.
We have to.
Thank you very much. Please, I really don't like cutting my callers off, but please, when I'm begging you to help me wrap up your thoughts so that we can take more calls, please, I would appreciate if you can do that. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, this is Paul from Egbeda.
Okay, Mr. Paul, good to have you today.
Yeah, good evening, Opeyemi.
Good evening.
Ekuren. Yeah. Opeyemi, Nigerians are tired and they are afraid too. You see, the kind of democracy we are seeing today is different from the democracy that we witnessed in other countries. Imagine Nigeria being the economic giant of Africa. Today we are number 4. From $400 and something billion economy to 200 and something. And somebody is not thinking that something is wrong somewhere.
Hello? Hello? I can barely hear you. Hello, who am I speaking with? Okay, I think this person will need to try and call me back. I can barely hear what you're saying. Okay, 0913-600-0410 is the situation room at the turn of 5 o'clock. We'll step back a bit to take the headline news and also pay some bills, and then when we'll come back, I'll continue to pick your call. So we're asking, do you think Nigerians are just tired, or we're just lazy that we cannot challenge the status quo? Because it looks like there's a conspiracy of silence. Everybody is just quiet, and the government is just, trying and errors here, trying to, in their own understanding, make life better for Nigerians. Why is everyone quiet? Somebody is responding to what one of my callers said, and it says the owner of Nigeria is Dangote. There's no way Dangote will own Nigeria. I own Nigeria. You own Nigeria. Everybody belongs to this country. That is why we carry the Nigerian passport that shows the entire world that you're a Nigerian. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Opeyemi.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the great work you're doing. This is Mr. James calling from Abado,
Mr. James, good to know you have here.
Opeyemi, it's not as if Nigeria, just like what Don Peter said, that one of the biggest challenges is the issue of maybe religious or tribal, incitement from our politicians. Most of the time they see us coming together because we have intention of maybe bringing ourselves from their need. They will know how to incite maybe religiously or tribal aspect one party or the other. Before you know it, we will fall to it. And when we fall to it, they will now be able to dispel us. And when they do that, they go back to their joint and started sharing to themselves, among themselves, the politicians. So this has become one of the issues. And look at it, for instance, when the issue of ▲ protest was on, we knew what took place at Lɪਧᴇ, where people were so peaceful, telling them what are they requesting for good governance, telling about how police should be reformed and all of that. What happened at the end of the day? Police were under democracy, and we say we have achieved democracy, something that could hardly happen during military. They sent soldiers there, and we knew the end of it. So, my brother, I know that we are so tired. It's just like, I don't know, I really don't know. People are in fact, I don't know. May God help us.
May God help us. Thank you very much. Let me quickly take your messages on Facebook. There are already accusation that I won't read the messages. Case Holy says, I know very well you will not read my message. I mean, thank God I'm reading it now. It says, you could not read messages because he had Tinubu's name on it and expect Nigerians to fight for you. You yourself can't go out and protest. You yourself, you're not different from Tinubu and Buhari because tribe is a problem. We see how Tinubu govern Lagos is the same way as ruling Nigerians, bribing these people who has to stay in the country. Well, Case Holy, thank you for your message. Kende Okpa is also texting from Ijegun. I don't think we are fighting leaders. On the food crisis, the Southwest, okay. That's a repeated message. I took that already. Okay. And I appreciate the good work you're doing. It's quite unfortunate that I couldn't express my view via phone owing to the difficulty in phoning in. There's no doubt that there's an unprecedented suffering in the land. Is Mr. Peter Obi Elijah Atiku the Messiah we're looking for at the system we operate in Nigeria? I say no. It is understandable that it is only one section of this country that have been premising on the fact that Mr. Obi... Okay. Thank you. Our biggest problem is a high level of docility occasioned by the deliberate division among tribe and religious caused by the political class, and they continue to perpetually remain in power for their own good and to the detriment of the masses. Otherwise, which citizen of any country will tolerate all of these excesses of the government, ridiculous lavishing of our commonwealth, if not only Nigerians? Until we unite and in one accord, we will not get things done. I'm going to have to take a break. Keep your messages coming in. Facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM, and the line to call is 0913-600-0410, or you send a text to 0913-600-0430. Don't call that line, it's just for messages. I will be back on the turn of 5 o'clock and I'll continue to pick your calls. Oh, this call is back on. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. My name is Akinyode.
Oh, what's my star doing on my show? I'll be back very soon.
Headline News on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Headline News on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Omobola Sandra. President Tinubu leaves Abuja today to celebrate Eid-el-Kabir in Lagos. Ogun State government aims to harmonize taxes and cut double taxation for businesses. Kano government fined 10 million naira for violating rights of ex-Emir Bayero. On a foreign team, Ramaphosa, Malema, others sworn in MPs during South Africa's 7th Parliament inaugural sitting. In sports, Euro 2024, France captain Kylian Mbappé hails Arsenal star as one of the best. That's the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos. Looking for ways to save your data? It starts with your apps. Deleting unused apps helps, but there is more. Most apps have data saver modes. Activate them to control data usage. You can also go to settings to turn off auto updates. Lastly, close unused apps to save data when you ain't using your apps. These changes can make a big difference. For more information, visit your mobile operator's website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for more helpful tips. Stay connected and enjoy smarter data usage. This message is brought to you by the Association of Telecom Operators and Nigerian Communications Commission.
Build up find water-shed cement na confirm. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. New find water-shed cement number one. New find waterproof cement number one. Good full stop for water wahala. With Lafayette water-shed cement, water to collect. For Tanjamu house, foundation and basement to go. Ogbonge cement for water long areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija.
Put full stop for water wahala.
To cook correct food dey always give me joy. That na why anytime wey I dey cook like this, I dey always season am with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatashe, shombowo, onions. No one wey I no dey put. Na im make my pikin dem dey always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You see, na all your food with correct vegetables. Come season am with no cubes for that ogbonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Lafayette water-shed cement na confirm. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. Ogbonge cement for waterlogged areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija. New Lafayette water-shed cement number one. New Lafayette waterproof cement number one. Good full stop for water wahala. With Lafayette water-shed cement, water to collect. For Tanjamu house, foundation and basement to go. Ogbonge cement for water long areas. Number one waterproof cement for Naija.
Put full stop for water wahala.
You dey find ways to save your data. You go first start out with your apps. Delete apps wey you no dey use but other things go still dey. Some apps get data saver modes, make you activate them to control the data usage. You fit also go your setting make you off the auto updates them. Then make you also close apps wey you no dey use to save your data when you no dey use your apps. This small change go fit help you save your data well. For more information, make you go your mobile operator website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for better tips. Make we dey connect and enjoy our data use well. This message dey come from the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators wey join body with the Nigerian Communication Commission.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
So welcome back. In case you're just tuning in, this is the Situation Room and you're live on Mainland 98.3 FM, and we get to do this show every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5:30 p.m. 90 minutes straight talk, straight conversation around politics, around governance, around leadership, around how we can achieve the ultimate goal of democracy, which is protection of lives and properties. Very essential. There's no way you want to develop in an atmosphere of hostility, in an atmosphere of war. There has to be peace, which is the priority of the government. Everybody should feel secured. So I've been asking us since 4 o'clock, what do you think about this whole idea of conspiracy of silence? It seems everyone is quiet. The opposition parties are not speaking to power. The interest group, religious leaders, traditional rulers, people that are supposed to help to strengthen this democracy by providing checks and balances to the government in power. But it seems everyone is quiet. So I've been asking, and a lot of people have called and texted, is this a conspiracy of silence? Or you think Nigerians are just too lazy to challenge the status quo, or really tired? Let me have your thoughts. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome. Mr. Laiwola, you're welcome. From Jai, I guess?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. As you see opposition that I silence, if you see before this, we are talking about the election campaign when three of them come up. All of them mention everything that the Tinubu embarked on. But document policies, let me just say, the manual or the document, any one of them presented. If we remove the subsidy, if we floating our naira, that is giving us a back for the test of economy, nobody bringing the blueprint of that document to people, but they just mention it at the headline, and everybody look at it here. But the way we find ourselves at this moment, I'm always saying that if somebody say we have the best policies and documentation presentation, no. We didn't have it in the nation. We don't have it as the best in the world. Because if you look at our implementation, even common constitution that we have that is becoming an issue today, if you look at that document, the way we begin to implement it, we see the lacuna on it, and the thing become more proven to us also. So as an individual, as a nation, we have never, if you look at our antecedents from 1960 to this time, we have never building a leadership in this country. The only thing that we have been building, come and be a government.
Hello. Okay. I lost connection with that caller. I would appreciate if you can call back. We're still taking it to 5:30. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Opeyemi.
You're welcome.
Good evening, my brother.
How are you, Mr. Damiola?
Honestly, I've listened to them and they have spoken very well. I think we are tired. Okay. We are afraid, and we have been programmed. The thing is just that we are tired because we have been talking for years. Nothing. These people are so deaf to whatever we are saying. They don't want to even speak on the door. They don't want to take any step. We have been talking on radio stations, a lot of protests here and there. They are just speaking as if nothing is happening. And Nigerians are getting tired. We are afraid that, you know what happened in protest? A lot of Nigerians that died miserably, a lot that became handicapped. Do we get that justice? What happened after that incident? How many Nigerian youth now will actually be willingly, they're able to step out to actually to protest? Even the parents and the family, would they allow their children to go out to protest? We are afraid. We have a lot of federal bulldogs. Anything you say, they tackle. If you speak on radio, you use some words, they trace, they actually arrest. Then who will not actually be so confident when people actually know being tried day by day. You know, a lot of bills, a lot of, diseases against the mass media, against the press, against journalists. Then who will talk? How do we actually speak out? We are being programmed because till now, some people still believe Tinubu is working. They still are things were better. Let's just continue to endure and buy a property. We did that for 8 years. We spoke about property for Buhari. This one too. We spoke about property for how long? We have not been seeing positivities on ground. If the government will do better, there will be traces. Yes, this government is working. Let's see that. How many refineries?
Thank you, Mr. Damlola.
All these things, we have to come to the conclusion. Let's cut out. Let's start out. Let's make it loud. The government is not working. I just the truth.
Thank you very much. Our comrade Koboko is texting and he says Nigerians are not Nigerian people are not doing conspiracy of silence. Why are they arresting journalists? Why are they clamping down on protesters? Nigerians are just angry and hungry. A couple with any problem. Thank you, comrade Koboko, for that one. Hello, good evening.
Hello, it's comrade Koboko.
Oh, perfect. Just when I read your message.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you 100%.
I want to greet Chief Alfred Anthony Chief Ayadebanjo, Arifi, Cornelius Adebayo, Kudrati, Bagida County, and the one that you mentioned, the fight for democracy. So, we are not in democracy, we are in Nazism, government of obsession and
okay, we can't do that, comrade Koboko. You should know that. I'm not going to allow that on the show. Babatunde Shitu is texting and he says, you're doing a great, thank you. I've been expecting this topic since. Don Peter has said it all. For me, I'm tired of this government, but one day something will happen. It's irritating when I see people begging and suffering. Truly, they are really going through this stuff. Lion Lakomi on Facebook says, those that are calling for military rule are bad students of history. Truly, we have not enjoyed anything from 25 years of unbroken democracy, but we can now say there's freedom of speech. Okay. More messages. This one says, people have been talking and they will continue to speak. People like me have been talking and equally waiting for the second year anniversary of this government. You're talking about the opposition not talking. If I may ask, what has been their performance in their various states that they are holding sway? I pray that the people will celebrate and see the miracle workers, e.g. Mr. Obi, Mr. 𝐴꞉ Femi Falana and others, will be in the position of authority, and we shall see if their narratives will remain the same and they would not be overwhelmed. Basil Chika on Facebook is saying, the truth of the matter is that the people in the leadership position in Nigeria are more deadly and desperate than even the military that they abused or they accused of being dictators. So Nigerians be forced and concentrate on whatever they are doing. Okay. Let me take more calls. 0913-600-0410. Bring it on. We have messages here as well, by the way. This one says, the Nigerian people are tired. Is now who gets food, they go Ojota. Okay. Whatever that means. The government needs to understand that whatever policy that is not taking care of the immediate needs of the people, it is not for the people. In a democracy, the people's voices must be heard alongside development that the government has promised them. That's KB from Bagada. Thank you very much, KB. I appreciate 0913-600-0410. Madam Ifi, good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Are you a Christian or Muslim?
My pastor.
Okay, now because I won't land your house before.
I go to the office. But I mean, let's talk. Good to have you.
Yeah, I will go and eat my lamb at United.
Please.
I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm not going to say much. You know, the president could look at people mention names at all because he will forget so many. Because you know, Dr. Fashion, they are angry with him. And these are the people that really fought this thing. They were in the trenches, even in the Korean military. You forgot them. You forgot them. Also, nobody has ever conducted any election as credible as that man's election in 1993. You forgot people like Dr. Kuti. Those were the fighters. We should have even put her to court anyway. Just make it a general something. Now, we have Ghanaian so much anyway. Good evening. Enjoy yourself over the weekend.
Thank you very much, Madam Ifi. And also enjoy yourself, and to everyone prepping for the big deal. Yeah, we have enough meat to eat this salad. I'm very sure of that one. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. You're live on Mainland FM. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Jonathan.
Mr. Jonathan, from where, please?
From Ago.
Okay.
I just have 2 words to say.
Please go on.
First of all, I appreciate what you are doing in your studios there.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate Fuwa. I appreciate Sage and the other lady again.
That's Sandra.
That's Sandra. You see, God will take you to the highest height in your journalism work in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Now, what I want to say is, he who knows not and knows that he knows not is a fool. Ignore him. I repeat, he who knows not and knows not that he knows not is a complete fool. Ignore him. But he who knows and knows not that he knows is sleeping. Wake him up. That is what I have for the government of Tinubu. May God continue to help fellow Nigerians, especially the impoverished Nigerians. God bless you.
And God bless you too. Thank you very much. I mean, some words of encouragement will go a long way. Benjamin Ise says, time shall tell. The people are not quiet. The President Tinubu begged for time and the people of Nigeria are patient people. They are giving the president enough time. When Nigerians would rise to say enough is enough, the government in power would not be able to stand. Even those that voted for this government are angry with the way the government is running. When a goat is pushed to the wall, it bites, and then we'll gradually get into that point. Okay, I must confess that we're tired of pointing out mistakes for our political leaders, which after providing solutions it will not be put to use. The most worrisome is where we claim to be practicing democracy, yet the citizens are expressing their grievance through a peaceful protest would still be arrested. Is this how the terrible hardship that Nigerians are going through would change? The likes of sycophants that surrounds the president, may God deliver us and take us to our promised land. God bless Nigeria, and I say God bless you too. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, I was talking and the thing called.
Yeah.
It's Paul from Egbeda.
Mr. Paul, wrap it up.
Yeah, please, is it true that Mr. President wants to get a new aircraft?
Okay. Well, the House of Representatives just raised that as a motion on the floor of the House.
Now, wow, let these people know, say God there. In this present situation, after spending 20-something billion for VP House, they want to buy another fleet of aircraft. Hey, God, it is well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul, for wrapping it up for us. 𝐾𝐿 on Facebook is texting, and it says, honestly, no single opposition can fight for anyone. These politicians have designed us in the way that they want us to be. During the last EndSARS, I was at the Lekki toll gate, which sustained high joint accident for my leg, which I'm still nursing till today. My name was on the list, and after the panel came through, there was no compensation whatsoever. Oh, 𝐾𝐿. Well, I don't know, maybe I should say sorry, but again, sorry. Okay, this one says, whether the opposition speaks or not, the president knows what Nigerians want. Give people water, give them security, and give them food, and Nigerians will work themselves out. This democracy is only on paper and not in reality. God bless Nigeria, and I say God bless you too. Good evening, caller.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Pastor Ambrose, this one is another line. You say there's no money.
Okay. Yes. Okay, I get it. You know how I'm ready to say this now. Okay. Two callers. One says somebody owns Nigeria, nobody owns Nigeria. And it now belongs to all of us.
It belongs to everybody.
And the beneath of this, I want to like here. So the world rotates, and another one says the reason why it's annoyed is that, you know, I can't remember what it said. But let me just tell you the truth. This president is a master of it all. They have been saying he's a politician. And you know, I've always agreed with them. Those he can guard, he will guard. Those he will go into the government, he will draw. Those he will oppress, he will oppress. And they keep on telling us he's doing our thing. Look at by of now, like I told you yesterday. There was a man that fought as much as standstill. He's in the government now. Most people want to talk. Because that's why they said what money cannot buy, what more money would buy. So this is the system this government is using. Instead of the government to use the money that they make to, you know, better the life of Nigeria, they are using the money to settle people so that they will not protest. That's exactly what is happening today. But when I agree with you 100% that democracy is better than military. You know why? If you build a foundation of wealth and the foundation is solid, and then you put a weak structure on top, will the structure stand? The military laid the bad foundation that we have today. After giving us road, bridges, all of that, they now came and they gave us a bad constitution, a further constitution, where there was no equality because they wanted it to favor a section of the country.
Pastor Ambrose. Mr. Ambrose, let me ask you just a few seconds. If for 25 years we've always been complaining about the fact that the constitution is military based, is this and that, shouldn't we have done something about the constitution? We've amended it a couple of times, but shouldn't we have just gone straight up into it?
The politicians that we have, they are self-centered. It's when they leave there, they start complaining. When they are there, they will not talk. When they leave, they will start talking. Even see some of them now, they are fighting the system, including 𝐴. So when you are there,
okay, good evening, man. Okay, thank you. Please, I want to ask. This message is coming from Mayor from 𝐴. I want to ask, where are the so-called rulers, not leaders? All the religious leaders have been bought over except Matthew Kuka. All ex-head of state and former president, because they are partners in crime. All the people in power today are the ones troubling the country before. Silent everywhere, especially from the southwest. Every sector or institution in Nigeria have been captured by this administration. Okay, Martins Duru, aka Mayor from 𝐴. Okay, this one is Taiwo from Abule Egban. It says, where is the freedom of speech in democracy where Twitter was banned under Buhari? Afiz Lawa from AIT Udalagbado says, the government of Senegal reduced the cost of essential commodities like rice, cement and bread. Opey, is the policy of reduction not possible in Nigeria? This suffering is becoming too much. Thank you very much. It is wrong of you to say there's conspiracy of silence. I didn't say that. I only asked. It is the last 1 year on daily basis. People on your station, your staff, incident stimulates have been calling with. Okay, that's from Mr. Pagon Adiyan. Okay, thank you very much for your message. Dennis from Ikorodu is also texting, and he says, my take on the minimum wages, starting from where the minimum wage is increased, though I'm in support, but once it is increased, the price of commodity would also increase and our lifestyle would increase, and that is when the hardship would triple. The labor should also ask the government to cut down on governance and reduce import duties, as I can see hardship looming if this government continues this way. Okay, on check your record since June 12 and NSAS, it has only taken place in Southwest. Other zones don't participate. So we in the Southwest cannot protest for people who do not value protest due to ethnic reasons. You're also free with the NUJ to organize protests. Thank you very much again, Mr. Akpagwadiyan. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Hello.
good evening. This is Don online. Good evening.
Don, where are you joining me from?
Yeah, from just.
Okay.
My brother, well done, Jare.
Thank you.
No, I vividly listened to Mr. President's speech at that democracy day. I heard him loud and clear say he had just spent 1 year out of the tenure. If the remaining 5 years of 4, that means he has been masterminding that 6 years single time. There's nothing we can do before they even pass the bill. Look at that jet now. No money, no money. They have already purchased it. They borrow the money. They use it on their own. Where are we going? So I pray God will deliver us together in this Nigeria. All those governors, they have tried.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, time is so fast. And let me talk to Mr. Larry. Hello, good evening.
Mr. Opeyemi.
Good to have you join us on the show. You've been calling since.
My battery has already become dead.
Right. But I've always seen your messages on Facebook, by the way, so thank you.
But I've found it difficult to reach out to you.
Thank you for joining.
It's only your regular callers that give me. I don't know you give me the trick. You know how to use.
Okay, let's do this real quick. Let's do this real quick.
Let me. I'm calling from Malawi. Let me start by saying that I have sympathy for Mr. President. Not because I'm from Yoruba land, but I believe in him. And now I begin to see some disappointment, to see something that he has put in place, which to me does not be good enough. But nevertheless, and I've been raising my voice, and people have also been raising their voice, either out of sentiment or in reality. But the reality in the land is that there is suffering, which Mr. President has already, he has acknowledged. But we have never seen it in him, because we need to see the sacrifice in him. God has blessed him, and his wife has already made that note that God has blessed them. So I think Mr. President it's time for him to show sober reflection by cutting the cost of governance. He fell down while he wants on the day of democracy. That is a serious, it's a pointer to him. He has fallen down. You used to say something, I need to be frank. Some people will say it's not like that. Some people want him not to succeed.
Thank you, Mr. Larry.
Those people that doesn't want him to succeed by performances, and we have interest in him, you should support us with it. You should make something different.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm happy with the fact that a first-time caller on the show is actually going to be the last call I'll pick on the show for this week. Monday is going to be another day, God sparing our lives. And then for every of our friends celebrating Salah, we say happy celebration. And don't forget, just as the religion preaches peace, please be peaceful with everyone around you. My name is Opeyemi Akinyode. Thank you so much for all of the calls, all of the messages, the ones we couldn't read. We appreciate it. Monday is going to be another day, and God sparing our lives, this program will return. But don't forget to join Side Forward on Sunday 6 to 8 p.m. for Political Roundtable, and by 7 o'clock today, join Kule Daniels for Voices from the Top. But before then, 6 o'clock, I will be back for Sport Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. We are the sound of Lagos. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and have a beautiful weekend.
In your market become more and more crowded.